Welcome to the channel, folks. Welcome to another video. Today we're talking fast, talking furious, talking one marvelous scene, talking the mid-credits scene from 2008's Incredible Hulk, and of course, its connection to the Fast and Furious franchise. Hit the nos. Okay, I'm a little late to this particular idea. It was launched by Nando V Movies and features established creators developing video essays on their favorite scenes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe in anticipation of the release of Avengers Endgame. However, Nando V Movies invited others, meaning just whoever, to create their own videos, tweet them at him, and he would add them all to a big playlist on YouTube. I finally got my channel launched, so now it's my turn. Fingers crossed I'll be added to the playlist too. As my one marvelous scene, I'm choosing a mid-credits scene, the one from the Incredible Hulk. Technically, this scene comes before the credits, but I'm referring to it as a mid-credits scene. And I'm not choosing it for the scene itself, which is mundane and not in line with the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe eventually developed. I'm choosing it because of the idea behind it. This scene, this little mid-credits scene, shows why and how the minds behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe were able to do what they did. It shows the power and importance of vision. No, not that vision. The vision to see a future from nothing. At the time this scene was made, at that point, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A quick look through Wikipedia shows that a page for the Marvel Cinematic Universe as such was not even created until May 10th, 2010, nearly 2 years after The Incredible Hulk was released in June 2008. Yet this scene was still included at the end of Hulk, teasing the larger universe to come and connecting the two films, Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. So why is this important? After all, Iron Man, which was released before Hulk, had a post-credits scene too, which even mentioned the Avenger Initiative by name. But that's easy. It's Iron Man. It's Robert Downey Jr. It's Samuel L. Jackson. The Iron Man movie. Everything about the movie was great. Iron Man is to be a major part of the Avengers.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
The leader, the financier, it just makes sense. Even in the old school Hollywood method of exploiting a successful movie for a few crappy but money-making sequels and then call it quits and prepare for a reboot style, the Avengers tease scene after Iron Man makes sense. It's not remarkable, it's not marvelous. But the Hulk mid-credit scene, bringing Tony Stark as Iron Man across movies into Hulk, a not-so-good movie, to talk to General Ross about a team is different. This shows a vision for a shared universe in the theaters, for something bigger, something more than just a few sequels to the successful Iron Man. This was new and was critical to the success of the universe. The Hulk mid-credits scene showed that even at that time, Marvel Studios was serious about creating lasting value and tying these movies together, whether it meant fortune or famine, because they had a good thing going with Iron Man. With the Incredible Hulk, not so much. Hollywood 101 would have told them to look at the focus group numbers, look at the reviews, look at the box office returns, and immediately distance Iron Man from the Incredible Hulk and milk Iron Man for all it's worth. Don't bring down your golden egg by tying this big green albatross around its neck. They could have easily done this. It was only a mid-credit scene after all, but they didn't because they had a vision. Not that vision, a vision for the universe. So as I said before, they showed a commitment to tie these things together and showed they meant business with this series. That this thing was not just the to and through sequel series that we're all accustomed to. And this is a new thing not seen before, and the results speak for themselves. And this is what makes it my one marvelous scene. But is it something not seen before? I say no, and thus the connection to Fast and Furious. Because Fast and Furious did it first. You heard me. Fast and Furious did it first. I'm talking about the final scene in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift from 2006. Like the Hulk scene, it actually comes before the credits, but it's definitely a postscript. This scene has Dom showing up in Tokyo to race the new Drift King. It ties Dom to Han, and that's it. Simple as that. This scene, like the Hulk mid-credits scene, is marvelous as it shows a distinct vision for something different. Specifically, the vision of director Justin Lin and screenwriter Chris Morgan. It showed that they saw the potential for something more by combining two seemingly separate Venn diagrams to save the franchise from the second sequel and the fate that comes of franchises that go down that road. Until this scene happened, that's what we had gotten. The Fast and the Furious was a surprise hit, spawned a sequel to Fast, Too Furious, which was a quintessential, typical Hollywood sequel. Bring back the star, add some new faces, make some easy money, repeat for the third one, then abandon or reboot the franchise. And this would have been the end of Fast and Furious, if not for the vision of Justin Lin and Chris Morgan, revealed by this final scene. The vision that it was possible to build a world that will stand the test of time rather than just throwing the franchise away. It started with the Tokyo Drift final scene, just like it did for Marvel with the mid-credits scene after Hulk. And sure, just like Iron Man, the first Fast and the Furious movie had a post-credits scene, but just like that one after Iron Man, it was easy. It featured the big star from the surprise hit movie and set up for a typical Hollywood sequel. Like the Iron Man post-credit scene, it was not marvelous in any way. As a final detail, the Hulk mid-credit scene isn't perfectly in line with how the Marvel Cinematic Universe eventually develops. In the scene, General Ross, the disgraced villain, is approached by the hero, Tony Stark, to join a new team, and it is implied that the objective is to capture Hulk rather than recruit him, a continuation of Ross's previous mission, which would redeem Ross's character and motivations somewhat. This is backward from how the universe ultimately comes together, wherein General Ross continues to be portrayed as a heel and Hulk is welcomed to the team in a scientist and superhero role. But the accuracy is not the point. The lack of accuracy here helps my point. It shows that they didn't have it all worked out, and that didn't matter. All they had was the vision. No, not that vision. The vision to create something more than the typical Hollywood sequels. The same can be said of the final scene after Tokyo Drift. It wasn't particularly accurate either, but that is irrelevant. What is relevant is that the writer and director had seen what the typical Hollywood sequels had delivered for the franchise and saw a way out of it, and delivered. So there you have it. That is my one marvelous scene from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its connection to Fast and Furious. Consider subscribing. I release a video every Thursday, but in the meantime, keep it fast, keep it furious.